Hi there, Rabbi. Ready to get to work?
Yeah, I have to do something about my garage. Things look, but actually, if you'll notice, I have everything organized with what they are hanging up. So I'm in good shape.
And I think it's a good metaphor for the election year that we are entered into. We know that it needs more than an oil change to get things right, but what tools are we going to use? How are we going to survive now that we know the two candidates?
You know, what I'm going to say, I think reflects what a lot of people are feeling. And the last presidential candidate that I voted for was Kennedy. And I would really like to have two candidates and decide I want to vote for someone instead of voting either against or which is the least obnoxious or which is, I'm really not just tired. I don't think it's good that I'm not ever voting for anyone. It doesn't mean just for the president. I find in local politics, I never vote for anyone. I'm voting either against or the lesser of two evils. And I don't think that's healthy for a democracy. And I bet a lot of you out there listening and watching feel the same way, that you really would like to be able to rally around someone and go, this is my candidate, I'm going to support them, as opposed to, which is the least bad, or who's telling the least number of lies, or who is the best person for the job, anything. I'm, I think I represent a lot of us, Joe.
And I agree. So many people today are falling into the category of I really want my candidate or I really don't like that candidate. And I think the higher percentage is the latter because nobody seems to like someone. And so they're going for the opposite choice.
I don't like the idea that I have to go on the internet and look at the Pinocchios or look things up or try to balance. I have a life to live, and I'm bombarded with hate mongering. I'm bombarded with accusations. And as it turns out, they're exaggerations or just falsehoods or taking credit. One political candidate is taking credit for things that President Obama did. And people are shaking their heads and saying, yeah, he's right on. He did that. But he didn't. I'm not sure where to stop. But I think we have to, as individuals, turn and say, wait a minute. Even though I might support this candidate, what's he saying? Where's it coming from?
And in discussions, we've agreed that encouraging everybody to fact check your candidates is not going to happen. We really want to be able to take them at their word. And this new policy of saying whatever you want, it's one of the oldest tropes in cartooning that politicians lie. And I suppose we've always accepted a certain amount of that, but it's gotten to the point where, well, gee, I wonder if they're ever going to say anything actually true today.
You know, the old joke, how do you tell when a politician's lying? Their lips are moving. And you go, it's funny, but it's not funny because that shouldn't be a joke. Everyone's doing it, but it's now to a degree, Joe, that it's destroying our own democracy. That's what's happening.
So, what advice can you give us, Rabbi? I am at a loss to say anything except stay calm, do your research, trust in the Lord and the political process. What am I saying? And hope for the best.
I think any specific advice, I'm not doing it. And I'm tired of doing it. Our starting point is for each of us to recognize that both sides are leading us down the path, and each of us has to find our own individual way and not blindly follow anyone. That's my advice. Don't blindly follow anyone. Don't destroy your family. Don't do any of this because we are being led down the primrose path by everybody.